Hello everyone, my name is NewFlowerGirl, but you can call me Demi, and welcome back to another video. Today we are back with the Aftertalks, and we're going to be starting with March. Now, of course I was going to do I was going to do both F1 and MotoGP, but I've decided to only cut it to Formula 1. Which does mean that Zandvoort will get its very own. I might add that onto some other. I might add some other things onto that as well. Maybe talk about what happened in Assen with the MotoGP. I'm not gonna cut MotoGP all the way out of it. I might just do for like the lonely races. I might just do like some. Yeah, we're going to be here for March, and I've made a PowerPoint presentation for you lot. So let's get started. So we're going to be talking about the FIA, the F1 Gulf Air Bahrain Grand Prix, the F1 STC Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, Formula 1 Rolex Australian Grand Prix. I have a few images to show you of what happened during some of the races. We're going to take a look at the current championship standings, both drivers and teams. And we're going to go and look at where they go next. So, Formula 1 Gulf Air Bahrain Grand Prix, the kickoff of the season. Here we have the track. You can see my mouse, which is correct. So, this is the start and finish line. You basically go all the way like this. 3 DRS zones. And yeah, it is like high speed or something. Not high speed. It's like moderate or something. I don't know. But Max Verstappen won that race. Red Bull being the top team, maximum points scored. So there is this point system in F1 for the top 10, which is, from the top of my head, it is 25, 20, 18, and then so on and so on. I can actually take a look right here. View results, because I have it on my phone. So the point system goes 25, 18, 15, 12, 10, 8, 6, 4, 2, 1. That is the point system. Top 10 gets points. And you also get a point for the fastest lap. So, if Red Bull scored maximum points, that means that they finished 1 and 2 and Max got the fastest lap. Alonso was strong in qualifying, but he lost it in race pace. He was dropping like a brick in water. Not exactly, he wasn't like crashing or anything, but over the course of the race he dropped back quite a lot. Hamilton had a broken chair. Yes, his chair broke during the race. Yeah. He did finish the race, but the chair is very important for the racing driver, because they are made to be fit exactly to the driver's body. And if it's broken, it can cause some issues. But I don't know where it was broken, like if it was just loose or anything, but he was struggling a bit. He did maintain and settled for 7th behind Lando Norris. Leclerc was managing issues, and here it does say who struggled with tyre degradation and suffered multiple lockups en route to 4th, but he did manage to clear it. There was team orders from Visa Cash App, Red Bull, Racing Bulls. Yeah, Yuki Tsunoda was not happy with that. I'm just saying. He was shouting over the board radio, "Are you kidding me? At least they can throw away the swear jar." There also was a turn 1, lap 1 incident, or lap 1, turn 1 incident, I should have put. Basically, there was an incident with Stroll. Right, where was it? I basically have the list. Well, not the list, the thing. Yeah, right here. Lance Stroll got spun, and it was by Nico Hulkenberg. And basically what happened, the same kind of incident happened in Formula 2, which caused a safety car, and they had to use a shortcut into turn 1, which basically goes all the way straight to turn 2, because this part was blocked in Formula 2. So basically, Hulkenberg was too close to the apex. It wasn't even on the racing line. He was like way out of the way of the racing line. And yeah, he just made contact with Stroll and just crashed. That's basically what happened. Both of them were able to continue racing after pitting for a new front wing. And that's Bahrain. Actually, before we go, Sainz was third. And of course, I need to talk about the McLaren, and I want to talk about the McLarens. Norris 6th and Piastri 8th. So now we go to Saudi Arabia. So let me get that race report up. And this is the track. Yeah, again, 3 DRS zones. And this track is high speed. It's a street circuit. And I'm not sure why they allowed this, but this track is hella dangerous. Like right here is like a hotspot for crashing. Because we've seen a couple of crashes like right here. We've also seen some like one right here with Mick Schumacher, or that might have been like right here. It has to be here. It had to be here. That bit. But yeah, Lando Norris made a jump start. It is between air quotes because he stayed within the grid box. So basically, if you make a jump start and you stay within your grid box during a race start, then it won't count as a jump start. If you go before the lights out and you don't stay within your grid box, then it is a jump start. Then you will get fined a penalty, which might be a drive-through. I think that's what it is, a drive-through. But he didn't. He stayed within the slot, so that's all fine and dandy. Gasly first defeat of 2024. That is supposed to say DNF. I made this on my pad, and it has terrible autocorrect, so I'm terribly sorry for this. It is supposed to say first DNF of 2024, which is true. He was managing he had gearbox issue. Stroll crashed very hard. I'm not sure where Stroll crashed. I'm just trying to look through. Turn 23, which is right here. Which is right after 22. And he basically made contact with the barrier, it said, on lap 7 for prompting a yellow flag to be thrown before a safety car was called. He walks away, luckily, which is good. It's always good when a driver walks away from a crash that's severe. And then the headlines of the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Carlos Sainz was ill. He had something with his appendix. It needed to be removed. Meaning that they had to call in a replacement. And that was Oliver Bearman, the Brit, the Ferrari Junior in Formula 2. He was on pole that race in Formula 2. So it may not have been the hardest decision. Like, you get called up by Ferrari, like, hey, this one of our drivers is sick. You wanna, replace him. I know you're in pole position for your own race, but you need to come here because we need you. Like, if you are a junior driver, like a reserve or test driver, and you get called up to replace someone because they're ill or because they've suffered an injury, you are not gonna say no. You basically have to say yes. And I think Oliver Bearman was happy that he did, because he got into the points. It was good points as well, I think. Let's see. I think he finished like behind Alonso. He finished behind Russell in P7. He finished before, in front of Lewis Hamilton. Funny thing, all 4 Britons driving under the British flag finished in the points that in the points that race, because Russell P6, Bearman P7, Norris P8, and Hamilton P9. That's insane, right? Red Bull won 2 again, but not fastest lap. I don't know who got the fastest lap. It is not in the top 10. Fast lap was not the top 10. No, it was Charles Leclerc. Charles Leclerc got fastest lap, so not to maximum points, but like, it's alright. Leclerc finished on the podium. Yep, his first podium of 2024. More to come. Oh, that was all. And Piastri finished P4, which is amazing job from him. And now we're gonna go to the last of March. Australia, Albert Park in Melbourne. I want to say that this is like a semi street circuit, because you have like hybrids tracks. An example of a hybrid street track, Canada. That one is half racetrack, half not racetrack, half street circuit, half not street circuit. But like, I don't know if Australia is allowed. I do know that Miami is it. So yeah. This one has 4 DRS zones and only 2 detection zones. And each detection zone is for 2 DRS zones. Which is kind of weird in my opinion, but like, whatever. Logan Sargent did not race. And why? Alex Albon had a horrible crash in FP1. Like right here. Last year, during the race, he crashed in this turn. Now he was like here, so technically he got 1 corner further. But it was horrible to see and to know. Williams did not have a reserve chassis, so they made the hard decision. Well, they asked Logan a very hard question to hand over his car to Alex. Sargent was not happy about it. He's very open about that as well, but he had to. Either way, he did not leave the track. He was still there for race day, which is good sports. Max Verstappen DNF. Yeah. Just like 2 years ago, Max Verstappen retired. And you Max fans, if you weren't watching the race, you are not gonna like what happened. He had technical troubles. His brakes did not work from race start, and on lap 3, or on the second lap actually, he got overtaken by Sainz in this bit, and then things started to go downhill. Like, Sainz was just pulling away from him, and Max could not get close. And then his car started to smoke the next lap. And next thing we know, his brakes were on fire. It was not the engine that was on fire. I legit was like, oh no, it's the engine. He's out. He just put in a new ICU or ICE, and it's already broken. Or as Lando Norris would say, it's woken. But it was the brake duct on his rear right tire. And the moment he drove into the pit lane, it just exploded. It just boom. He was able to get safely to the pits, and fire marshals were there. People with fire extinguishers were there to make sure that the entire car did not burn down. It's still unknown what caused it. If it is an error from one of the mechanics, or just simply technical bad luck. Same thing kind of happened to Esteban Ocon, but he had a tear off there. Lewis Hamilton also retired. He retired right here. Basically, coming into this bit, all of a sudden his car was like making noise, and then all of a sudden just shut off. His engine died. So he parked his car right here, causing a virtual safety car. Russell had a scary crash right here, and Alonso has been penalised for it. It was said that Alonso brake checked Russell. I have a picture of the aftermath. It was said that Russell was calling for a red flag in the last lap of the race, or the penultimate last. I would have agreed with him. Yeah, he was like in the middle of the track. People had to cut through the gravel traps to get around him. Because Albert Park is one of the few and only street circuits that I know that has gravel traps. I think it's the only one actually that I know. The only street circuit that has gravel traps. Probably because they go so fast here and it's mandatory. But there was a virtual safety car called for that, and they finished under virtual safety car. If you don't know what virtual safety car is, it's basically a full course yellow kind of situation, but the drivers have to keep to a delta. They cannot overtake unless it is a significant slow driver in front of them. They cannot even overtake back markers. And the delta, you have to keep to it. If not, you get penalized. And then it can be revoked any time. The difference between virtual safety car and full safety car is basically that with full safety car, there is an actual safety car on the track. And at a certain point, which is about between turn 10 and 11, the safety car will then turn off its lights and pull away, and the lead driver then of the pack can then decide the pace and decide when to go, but only as long as the safety car itself is back in the pits. On the Formula 1 app, if you guys want to download it, go ahead. You have a beginner's guide to F1. Please do read that if you are new to F1, but want to, know everything about it. Like I said, virtual safety cars, but luckily no full safety cars or red flags in comparison to last year, where we had 3 red flags and complete chaos. It was a Ferrari one too. Yeah, Ferrari one too. Sainz won the race, with only having, his appendix being removed 2 weeks ago. He's basically won. He's basically gone from hospitalized to winning a damn race. It is good for him. My dad actually showed me something like yesterday when I was working on this PowerPoint presentation. For you guys, that was Sunday. He showed me like a bit of a comparison, because all the times when Sainz won a race, Russell had crashed out. So if you guys remember, Silverstone 2022, Russell crashed, and then Sainz won the race. His first ever Formula 1 race. Last year, Singapore, Russell crashed out in the last lap, and then Sainz won. And then this year, Russell crashes out of the race on the penultimate lap, and then Sainz won again. That is insane. And we cannot forget a McLaren podium. It was a McLaren 3-4. Norris actually did get a podium. It would have been nice if they let Oscar get a podium. But because it's been a long time since there was an Aussie on the podium at the Him Grand Prix. I mean, we had Daniel Ricciardo, but then he got disqualified for something. So yeah. Perez, it was basically down to him for Red Bull, but like he didn't do justice. He finished P5. Yeah. And we have some images now. So this is what this is basically Lance Stroll getting out of his car. You can see it may not look that big, but like, look at the barrier. You can see how big it is. This was when Max Verstappen entered the pits in Australia. Look at that tyre. Basically, when they took the tyre off, it was still smoking during the race. When it reached halfway of the race, it was still smoking then. I've seen images. It's insane. This is the aftermath of Russell's crash. It was that scary that I legit was thinking, when is someone gonna hit the back of when is someone gonna hit the bottom of his car? Luckily, no one did. Thank you for the safety features, Formula 1. And this is basically what happened. How the car of Alex Albon looked like. I'm still shocked how the front wing survived. I mean, this tyre is completely gone. That tyre is flat. And, he hit the wall twice. So, yeah. And the current driver standings. We have had 21 drivers so far. Please, everyone, do not bring in any more new rookies during a race, because I cannot fit any more to make it still be readable. So Max Verstappen leads with 51 points. Charles Leclerc is only 4 points behind. Sergio Perez is 1 point behind that. Sainz 6 points behind that. Then in 5th place we have Oscar Piastri 28, and Lando Norris is 1 point behind that. George Russell in 7th with 9 points behind Norris. Fernando Alonso 16 points. Lance Stroll in 9th with, 9 points. That's very nice. Lewis Hamilton, a disappointing 8 points. Yuki Tsunoda 6, tied with Oliver Behrman. Nico Hulkenberg got 3 points, and the last point scoring driver so far is Kevin Magnussen. Albon, Zhou Guanyu, Ricciardo, Ocon, Gasly, Bottas and Sargent all have yet to score points. In the constructors standings, I should have moved this more to the middle to make it consistent, but whatever. Red Bull Racing is at 97 points. Ferrari at 93. It is going to be tight between them two. I'm going to guess that it's going to go between them two. McLaren at 55 points. They're somewhat safe from Mercedes and Aston Martin, who are basically 1 point at 1 point difference from each other. Racing Bulls at 6, Haas F1 at 4, and then Williams, Kickstart Sauber and Alpine at 0. Alpine, they should really just get their old chassis. Where to next? This is going to be for April. They're going to go to Japan, first, which is going to be in 2 weeks. They're going to go to Suzuka. It's kind of sad to realize that it is going to be 10 years ago that Jules Bianchi had that terrible accident. And then next year it will be 10 years that he passed away. It's sad to realize. I think if Leclerc wins this, he's going to get very emotional because Jules Bianchi was his godfather. And Bianchi had the accident at Suzuka, where Formula 1 races till this day. And then after that, this one's probably going to get cancelled because of still kind of like COVID rules. China. But I do kind of hope not. Because otherwise I'm going to have to keep talking about Japan. I know Japan is cool, but it's not really my style. I am doing a bingo still. And I actually put it on my phone. Need to get the right app open. And I'm gonna do it together with you. Cross off the things that happened so far. So, we did kind of get a brake failure, I guess. There was no multi-car crash. We didn't hear Daniel Ricciardo say Pierre Gasly in his awesome way. No drain covers yet. If they just let Oscar at that podium, I would have crossed off one of the things. But I am gonna cross off brake failure already. Because, well, it was the brake that kind of ruined it for Max. So, ooh, that's... You know what, let's just do pen. And do a big, massive cross. So, that is today's After Talk. The next one will be after, basically the Wednesday after China Grand Prix. I am pretty excited for both of these races because that means I get to get up early again. No, I'm just kidding. I'm excited for both races because, anything can happen. I do have the feeling that there is going to be a season driver swap, because they gave Ricciardo a time limit. He has to perform well enough in 2 races time. If not, then he will get swapped with Liam Lawson, who, of course, performed better than him. So, yeah. Williams did not get points. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's Aftertalk. If you did, then please hit the like button and also consider subscribing if you don't want to miss any of these videos. But that is it from me for now, and I shall see you guys in the next Aftertalk. Bye!